Hey, it's me, Donna Heifel, and welcome to Corplite TV. Last week I talked to you all a little bit about taking a different approach, and that is talking about incremental execution, how to move people, how to get them to do something differently. And we started the conversation out talking about a rollout of a sales initiative. And basically we discussed, because we didn't have a whole lot of time, that you take one or two behaviors and you start out by telling people why this is happening. This week, I want to talk about that a little bit more, and I want to delve a little bit deeper and really even make an intervention with myself. And that is because I have been part of a lot of large initiatives at companies that are not exactly kicked off with all of the honesty with which they should be kicked off. In other words, the messages that are given about the change are such that people don't trust the message, they don't trust the messenger, and therefore leadership turns around and says, why didn't the sales thing take off? Why haven't we gotten faster results? Why aren't people doing it? So let's talk a little bit about that today. And I'm going to start with a story. Recently, I ordered some diet food. I won't say the brand, but I ordered it because it looked delicious on TV and because they promised all sorts of weight loss. Well, I'll tell you, I stuck with it for 2 weeks. 2 whole weeks. And I did get really good weight loss. I lost more in 2 weeks than I'd lost in the last 2 years. I was pleased with that. But the food was horrible. It tasted like, I don't know, sawdust and glue holding it all together. I just can't describe it to you. And I guess if I had been told up front that the food doesn't taste that great, but it's good for you, you'll get the weight loss, so be ready to be committed to the diet, maybe I would have entered it a little bit differently. Instead, I came in thinking, oh, this is going to be good, and I can have all sorts of sweets, and the food looks great, and my expectations were set up, and then I felt betrayed by what I received for the money that I sent. That's what I want to talk about today as far as kickoffs and rollouts of new initiatives, and particularly in corporate America. Because so many people go to these big kickoffs with balloons, and leadership gets up and leadership says, oh, this is going to be great. This is making us a better company. We're going to be able to better serve our customers. This is all about doing the right thing for you and making this a better place for you to work. Well, let me tell you, after years of going through those kinds of initiatives, here's what the employee is thinking. The employee is thinking, okay, number one, I don't think I need to improve the way I do my job. I think I do it very well. My customers like me. My numbers are good. I feel good about what I do. So I don't understand why I'm having to go through all these emotional and behavioral changes when I like what I do. Number two, I have been through this before. I know what all these happy messages mean. They mean longer hours. They mean more training. They mean talking differently. They mean my customers saying what's going on. You're talking in the scripted way. I don't get it. Things seem different. I know what this means, and it means I'm going to be working harder. In addition, a lot of times, especially with sales initiative rollouts, incentives are impacted. And the employee is thinking, I don't think this is going to be impacted positively, so I could be working harder for less money. So it gets down to this, what's in it for me. They don't get what's in it for them. They don't buy into it. And the reason they don't buy into it is because the initial message doesn't match the reality, and they feel betrayed by it. So what I am saying is, when you're explaining the why of an initiative, when a leadership group is explaining the why, they would save themselves a lot of time and heartache, and they'd get people to change a lot more quickly if they would be honest in the message. And it may simply be, you know what? We've been struggling for a couple years. We like our company. We think you all do a great job. Our customers are happy. We can always improve, number one. And number two, if we don't improve our sales numbers, we may not be here in a year or two. So what happens, if you would say that to people and say, here's what we have to do to stay around. Here's what we have to do so you can still come through these doors every day, so it can still be the place we love, but it will be slightly different. And these are the behaviors we're going to have to implement because they've been proven and because they work. And I guarantee you, if leadership would start out with that kind of message, people will buy in and say, okay, it may be a little bit tougher, but we're doing it for the right reasons. We understand why we're doing it. And you would save yourself a year of people running around in Facebook conversations and hallway conversations trying to figure out what the change is really going to be because they don't believe the initial message. So that is our workshop today. Be honest in the rollout. Be honest in what you're sharing. Let people know if it's going to be tough. Let people know if it's going to be a challenge, but let them know really why it needs to be done. And you'll save yourself a lot of time, and people will feel like they're part of something where they can help the company, and you're going to get a lot more energy out of that. We call it the power of Lite. Light, incremental actions done in a certain sequence. And if you start with honesty, then the next set of actions are much more likely to be acquired and to be actually implemented. So that's it. Look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you for being with us today on corplite.com, where we believe in the power of light. Thank you.